relax and take notes. Niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes. Niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday and welcome to the Sunday Headlines. I am Canon Hotep. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today. Give yourselves a round of applause because you could be anywhere right now, but you're hanging out with me and I appreciate you guys. So we had yet another drop yesterday with the Twitter files. It seemed like drop number 3 and drop number 4 might have had a little more information in it. However, it's still information that we knew about, right? It's still stuff that we already know. Now, like I was saying, I said on the Twitter Spaces Saturday, and I've said it before in previous streams. These drops are really not for, here we go with these bots, yo. Hey, Natasha, anybody else with the wrench, go ahead, get these bots out of here, please. Get these bots out of here. So, let's see. There we go. What's up, Demars? There we go. So, like I said, these drops are not for Hoteps. These drops are not for people in the know, people that know what was really going on. You know what I mean? We all saw the writing on the wall. We all saw what was actually happening, right? In real time. We seen it. We called it like Babe Ruth, like I like to say. These drops are really for people who were willfully ignorant, right? These drops are for the willfully ignorant and people that want to believe that, no, the government would never do something like this. The government would never put plants into a private business. The government would never interfere in freedom of speech in the First Amendment. Right? What's up, Montoya? That's what these drops was for. So, on the heels of these drops, apparently, right? Some people quit. The Trust and Safety Council was this yesterday at Twitter. And wouldn't you know it, one of the redacted's kids work there. Go figure, right? Now, before we get into this, if you're new, hit that like, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share this stream. Let people know we're live. Please share this stream. Let people know we're live. If you want to donate to the channel, super chats are always welcome, guys. Don't be takers now. Super chats are always welcome. Rumble rants are always welcome. But also, if you want to do a direct tip to yours truly, you can use my Cash App. That's $Canon Hotep. That's $Canon Hotep. You'll see it in the bottom right hand corner as the widget cycles. Is $Canon Hotep. Every little bit helps. Every dollar that I get from you guys goes right back into the channel. So, all right, let's get into this. So, like I was saying, right? We found out yet another redacted child works for Twitter, right? The first person we found out was that Dr. Anthony Fauci's daughter worked for Twitter. Now we find out Tony Podesta, his niece, worked for Twitter. Now, for those of you who don't know who Tony Podesta is, he was heading up Hillary Clinton's campaign. He was also implicated in some allegedly implicated and suspected to be doing some kid touching shit. He also was a prominent name in the quote unquote Pizzagate. But anyway, let's get over here to this. Check this shit out. This is from Ann Collier. Right? So Ann Collier, who is she? Ann Collier is she, her, youth advocate, writer, Net Family News, NGO founder, safety advisor to platforms, TEDx Geneva. All the good things come out of all of the good things come out of Switzerland, doesn't it? Anyway, so 3 of us resigned from Twitter's Trust and Safety Council today. Iralani, I don't know who this is, doctoral student, fellow RSA org member. I don't know what that is. I don't know what any of that shit is, but there you go. And Leslie Podesta values journalism, cares about politics, lives live sports and music, tragic, feminist, and funny. Social impact stuff, team player, tiger. I don't know what any of that shit is, and she got a rainbow and all that other good shit. So this is the second relative of the redacted that we find that works for Twitter. Not on top of that, we find out that former Franklin Beverly Institute council member, right? General counsel for the Franklin Beverly Institute was also deputy counsel for Twitter, Jim Baker, right? We find that out. He had his hands on the first drop, which probably explains why that first drop was a little light, right? Second drop really didn't happen because they found out that Jim Baker, well, I guess that was the drop, that Jim Baker was a part of Twitter's general counsel. So that was an eye-opener. But a lot of us knew that there were people that infiltrated. There were Fed boys that infiltrated Twitter. Now we know not only did Fed boys infiltrate Twitter. Twitter was hiring relatives of said redacted. Now we could all sit here and speculate on why Twitter was hiring the redacted's kids, right? Maybe they was willing to play ball. These kids need money, right? You know what I mean? They was on they Hunter Biden grift, right? Probably don't have any experience in any of this shit, but they can keep an eye on shit on behalf of their parents. You feel me? Yeah, stuff. Yep. Fed and special interests, all up in trust and safety. But check this shit out, right? Because they like to tell on themselves, right? So let's go read this. We are announcing our resignation from Twitter's Trust and Safety Council because it is clear from research evidence that, contrary to claims by Elon Musk, the safety and well-being of Twitter's users are on the decline. The question has been on our minds: should Musk be allowed to define digital safety as he has freedom of expression? Our answer is a categorical no. So they can't handle the fire, right? Now, me personally, I would say that they resigned to save face, right? I would say they resigned to save face. They're making it seem like we're getting out of here because we can't stand for it. But I think what they know is that Musk is on a tear through Twitter and he's just firing everybody, and they didn't want to get fired first, right? We resign in protest. That's what they're saying, right? Make themselves look good. Anyway, Iralani, Abdul Rahman, and Ann Collier have been members of Twitter's Trust and Safety Council since its inception in 2016? Now, I found that pretty odd that in 2016, right? I found it pretty odd. In 2016 is when the Trust and Safety Council was implemented. Right when Donnie T had, won the presidential election. Right when he was on the verge of beating old Hill Dog. Right in that time frame where they were really trying to have an effort to like kind of start shutting up dissenting voices, people that were rooting and pushing for Donnie T to be in office, is when the inception of Twitter's Trust and Safety Council was happening. Shit, that's a goddamn red flag, ain't it? That's a red flag to me. You know what I mean? Like, am I the only person that thinks that? Think about that. Think about that. All right? Oh man, Irilani was the first female representative from Asia and had served on the council's child sexual exploitation prevention advisory group, and has been working with the social media platforms on youth digital safety for more than 20 years, and served on Twitter's council online safety and harassment prevention. She ain't do a good fucking job, did she? I don't think she did a good fucking job considering all the shit that's floating around on Twitter when it comes to shit like that. She ain't do a good job, did she? Maybe she did do a good job. Maybe her job was to run interference for the touchers. I'm gonna call them the touchers. To run interference for the touchers. Cause it's so much shit running around on Twitter, it's not even funny. You guys know that. You got Def Jules in the building. What's the deal? He says, where are the lawsuits for all this? Bruh. That's all I'm saying. We know that even after the resignations and dismissals of thousands of employees, there are people working at Twitter who care about reducing hate speech and protecting users on the platform. We are deeply saddened by this decision because Twitter has been a place of joy in many ways. Our work with fellow council members, interacting with our professional networks, and supporting the public discussion about our respective passions, that's bullshit. They found great joy in shutting motherfuckers up. They found great joy in shutting down dissenting voices and pushing their narrative. That's what they found joy in. We got an opportunity here, guys, to sit here and create the narrative ourselves. Nobody needs to hear from a quote unquote white supremacist. Nobody needs to hear from an nobody needs to hear any of this shit. Nobody needs to hear from quote unquote anti-Semitic. Nobody needs to hear from the MAGA crowd. We got the power to go God mode and decide what people see and don't see. We got the power to disseminate the information how we see fit. That's what they were up to. Right? And now that there's a new sheriff in town, they don't like it. Now they moving to Canada. Now they moving to Canada. They moving to Canada digitally. Like, this is the crazy part, right? Boy. Let's keep reading this shit. I'm just interested. This is their fucking Dear John letter. Despite a lack of acknowledgement on the part of Twitter's new ownership, we would like to acknowledge the hard work of all members of its Trust and Safety Council over the past 6 years. Oh, they just fucking patting each other on the back. Never mind, we ain't gotta read that shit. They just patting each other on the back. They fucking put their resume in there. Hopefully they get picked up by fucking Facebook or somebody. That's all that is. That's all that is. That's all that is. Anyway, on top of that, I believe Andy No even outed another Fed boy infiltrated in Twitter, stashed in Twitter, operating out of Twitter. I think he was Charlie Indigo Alpha this time. See, I said this before, right? And I said this on the spaces that I was on Saturday, that I knew Twitter was a breeding ground for information for, public officials and congressmen and women and all that shit. The minute when Twitter was founded and Twitter started, going out and people started signing up. When Twitter first started, right? When Twitter first started, you had all of these public officials, you had congressmen and women advocating for Twitter off top. They were promoting Twitter off the top. When I saw that shit, when I saw like John McCain and them saying, Twitter is awesome, blah, 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 blah. Then I was like, this is for the government. The government made this. I said that back when Twitter first started. And that was one of the reasons I never really jumped on Twitter. I didn't jump on Twitter until after. Like, I think a friend of mine was like, yo, this shit fun. This shit fun. I think I was like, I forgot when that was. I forgot when I did that. It might have been 2010 or 2011 or something like that. Which was, short-lived because I ain't had time for all that shit. So I would just go in there, look at the fuckery, and then leave out. However, when I started seeing public officials capping for Twitter, I was like, oh, okay. The government made this app. The government made this thing. This is okay. All right, it makes sense now. You know what I mean? Let's see. Let's go over to the chat. If you're new, hit that like, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share this stream. Let's see what we got in here today. We got Natasha Kayleen in the building. What's up, Natasha? We got Leatherface in the building. What's the deal? We got Snazzy McAwesome. He says, I wonder if my Twitter followers, same handle if you want to follow back. Get sick of me always promoting Hotep content. Keep on doing the Lord's work, sir. We got Stuff Colonel in the building. What's going on? We got Def Jules in the building. What's the deal, bro? What's the deal? We got some sex bots in here as well. Oh, what's up? We got Elaine's Rotten Bottom. What's the deal? We got DeMars Burton. We got Montoya in the building. What's going on? We got Naut Noir in the building. What's up? Let me see. We got my man Sauce the Prophet in the building. The lot's been doing more than this lady has. Yeah, she has. We got the Broccoli. What's up? Let me see. Elaine's Rotten Bottom says the government would never poison its own citizens, i.e. prohibition. The government made and poisoned alcohol to help make people quit drinking alcohol. Woo, that's a take. What's up, Protocol? Forgot about Protocol. Protocol says, yeah, I don't really care for the drops myself, but what it is doing is helping the normies around me see that I wasn't on that BS when I was telling them what they was really doing to me. That's facts, bro. That's facts. Broccoli says, some thought they were doing the right thing, which is crazy, taking away someone's ability to speak. We're going to get to that. Steph Colonel says, the family members of government officials of one political party, that's right, were working for a private company which created and promoted policies that resulted in the silencing of the American public. That's right. Then that same party gaslighted the public for 6 years, labeling their opposition fascists and Nazis. That's exactly what happened, people. That is exactly what happened. But see, like I said, a lot of us were already in the know, right? A lot of us, we already knew that. The ones that see stuff from a 30,000 foot view, the ones that's out here trying to sound the alarm, we've seen that. We've been telling people this for like the last 7 years. We've been saying this and yelling and screaming it from the rooftops. But like I said, the willfully ignorant, the normies, the plebes, they was like, oh, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. The government would never do anything like this. The government would never do that. They would never put an operative into a public company and start sabotaging that said company. Or start, sabotaging free speech. What's up? We got Cassius Cam in the building. What's going on, bro? Right? They would never do that. Those people never heard of Operation Mockingbird. And if you never heard of Operation Mockingbird, I suggest you guys go look that up. That is a real thing where Charlie Indigo Alpha were planting quote unquote news anchors that work for Charlie Indigo Alpha. And they were disseminating the news on behalf of Charlie Indigo Alpha. Go look it up. Government ain't beyond that shit. They been doing it. And they're going to continue to do it. All right. Now, like, before we get started, like I said before, right? Like I said before, I don't think anybody's going to go down for this shit. We're not going to see anybody get hauled off to the Hooskow, to prison. We're not going to see anybody get drugged before Congress to answer for this shit. But we might see people get drugged before Congress, but there'll be no penalties. It'll just be a dog and pony show, just like that committee on the day in January. Right? But nobody's going to go down for it. Nobody's going to go down for it whatsoever. I just want you guys to understand that. And the sooner you understand that, the sooner you can get over it. However, this is what I would like to say. This is damning in the court of public opinion, right? Like I said, we can spread the word. We can show these drops to people that otherwise would have never believed that the government, Big Daddy government, would do some shit like this. And it does vindicate us, right? On a personal level, it vindicates us. It shows like, oh shit, they wasn't lying about that. Although I would love to see a WikiLeaks style drop. I would love to see a WikiLeaks style drop for people that have a hard time understanding and grasping this situation. The screenshots help. When I sat back and thought about it, the screenshots will help them. They're not going to comb through some WikiLeaks like styles drop like we would. Screenshots of this shit, like, oh damn, that's what they were saying. Oh shit. That helps the normies, right? You got to put shit in pill form, something they can easily swallow. You know what I mean? Just saying. Anyway, let's get back to this thing. Let's get back to this drop, right? Let's get back to the drop. So this is from Michael Schellenberger. This is Twitter Files Part 4. One's in the chat if y'all can read this okay. One's in the chat if y'all can read this okay. If you can't, I can always make it bigger. Just let me know. Steph says that Dr. Shiva says they were laundering censorship. That is a fact. Shout out to Dr. Shiva. I like Dr. Shiva. First time I heard of Dr. Shiva, he was on Tinfoil Hat Pod. He was on Tinfoil Hat Podcast. Def Jewel says George W. admitted to it. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He did admit to that. I forgot about that. Yep. Let's see. All day, buddy. All day, yo. All day. Steph says if people continue to play by the rules with people who want you to lose, you're going to be left behind. That's true. I say it all the time, yo. You can't expect a fair fight with these people, right? You got regulated boxing gloves on and they got plaster in their wraps. That's what they doing. You know what I mean? All right, Sauce, appreciate you. You know what I mean? There we go. That should be good for y'all right there. All right, let's get to this. Twitter Files Part 4. The removal of Donnie T in January 7th. As the pressure builds, Twitter executives build the case for a permanent ban. Okay. On January 7th, senior Twitter execs create justifications to ban Trump. Seek a change of policy for Trump alone, distinct from other political leaders. Express no concern for the free speech or democracy implications of a ban. This Twitter file is reported with L. Woodhouse. Okay, so he has some help on this. For those catching up, please see Part 1. So to catch you up, that's cool. They put it there. Part 1 basically was like they were showing that Twitter. They were showing the bias of Twitter. They were showing that Twitter was donating substantially larger donations to Democrats than they were Republicans. and it was just basically it was a general overview of what we're reading right now. So Matt Taibbi, Barry Weiss, Michael Schellenberger, I guess Elwood, and whoever else is going to drop 5 today. They're making this shit like a fucking saga, right? It must be fucking sweeps week or something. They're making a saga and they're all grifting off this shit. You know what I mean? So, anyway, let's keep moving. Part 1, where Matt Taibbi documents how senior Twitter executives violated their own policies to prevent the spread of accurate information about Hunter Biden's laptop. What he's talking about is like when the New York Post, they suspended the New York Post Twitter because the New York Post had dropped the story about the Hunter Biden laptop and called it disinformation. And they wouldn't let the New York Post have their Twitter back until they deleted it. Until they deleted it, called it a violation. They said it was deemed misinformation. That's what he's talking about in that situation. Part 2, where Barry Weiss shows her senior Twitter execs created secret blacklists to de-amplify disfavored Twitter users, not just specific tweets. And again, what he's talking about is Barry Weiss has some screenshots of where they had some shit like it was like do not amplify. They were basically throttling certain Twitter accounts, not just like flagging tweets saying, okay, this is an issue. They were actually, deplatforming, not deplatforming. Yeah, in some cases they were deplatforming, but they were shadow banning accounts. Libs of TikTok. The examples they used were Libs of TikTok, Dan Bongino, Charlie Kirk. They used some bigger names on Twitter to show that, these people were affected big time. I would have liked to seen some like a normal person. Not a normal person, but somebody that didn't have as big of a following, show them being shadow banned. Like, for example, I'm pretty sure Hotep Jesus is shadow banned. I'm pretty sure same thing with me. You know what I mean? I'm pretty sure my tweets are throttled. And I'm pretty sure like Mike Cernovich is probably throttled as well. The same people who, when Elon Musk got Twitter, their followers started to jump tremendously. Those people I'm pretty sure were shadow banned. I think I probably went up 1,000 subs after Elon Musk came to Twitter. Came to Twitter. In part 3, where Matt Taibbi documents how senior Twitter execs censored tweets by Trump in the run-up to the November 2020 election while regularly engaging with representatives of U.S. government law enforcement and U.S. government law enforcement agencies. That one was pretty interesting. I can't lie. That one was pretty interesting. Matter of fact, let's do this here. If you guys want to follow along with me, I'll put it in the chat. All right, so I'll put it in the chat on YouTube, Rumble. I'm gonna put it as a pinned comment. All right, so it's in the comments right now on Rumble, and it's in the chat on YouTube. Also, I'll put it in the description as well. Hold on. It'll be in the bottom under my email. All right, let's keep pushing. All right. For years, Twitter had resisted calls to ban Trump. Blocking a world leader from Twitter, it wrote in 2018, would hide important info and hamper necessary discussion around their words and actions. So let's see, show this thread. This is Twitter's public policy. Blocking a world leader from Twitter and removing their controversial tweets would hide important information people should be able to see and debate. It would also not silence that leader, but it would certainly hamper necessary discussion around their words and actions. Now, yeah, sunshine is the best disinfectant, right? Sunshine is the best disinfectant. You let people talk and they show you who they are. There's no point hampering speech, right? We're not babies. We're not idiots. We can listen to somebody talk, either we agree with it or we don't. There's no one size fits all on speech. Free speech is subjective. I might agree with some shit that somebody else doesn't. Doesn't mean that it's hate speech or unpopular speech. It just mean that it's speech that you don't agree with. And I will argue that the First Amendment protects unpopular speech. The First Amendment protects hate speech or quote unquote hate speech. You know, and I don't think hate speech exists. I think it's just speech you don't agree with. As long as you're not physically harming me, I can give a shit less what you say. Anyway, but after the events of January 6th, the internal and external pressure on Twitter CEO Jack grows. Former First Lady, he atting people. Former First Lady Michelle Obama, tech journalist Kara Wisher, and the ADL high-tech VC Chris Sacca, and many others publicly called on Twitter to permanently ban Trump. Again, he got some screenshots of this shit, right? You got some idiots that think that is a good fucking idea. What is this? The intelligentsia. It's time for social media platforms to permanently ban Trump, right? Michelle Obama calling on, like, now it's time for Silicon Valley companies to stop enabling this monstrous behavior and go even further. And they have already, by permanently banning this man from their platforms. All right. Jonathan Greenblatt. 2 bare minimum tweets after a Capitol has been stormed by extremists is too little, too late. Jack is overdue to suspend a real Donald Trump until his account stops promoting disinformation. All right. Some would say that that day was a setup. Some would say that that day was, what's the word? Designed. That day was orchestrated to set up Donnie T, right? Now, if you haven't seen it, I may post a clip of it on my Rumble later. But just so happened on that day, a certain congresswoman's daughter was there documenting. I don't know what the fuck she was documenting, but she was documenting something for HBO. Right? All they were doing was certifying. They were supposedly certifying the votes for the 2020 and hearing arguments against it. Right? That's all they were doing that day. So I don't know why HBO was there documenting something, but Nancy Pelosi's daughter was there with her film crew, quote unquote, documenting the certification of the election, I guess. I don't know. And wouldn't you know it, all hell, quote unquote, broke loose. All hell broke loose that day. What a coincidence. What a coincidence. But I digress. Let's see. We still pushing? Yeah. Dorsey was on vacation in French Polynesia the week of January 4th through the 8th, 2021. He phoned in to meetings, but also delegated much of the handling of this situation to senior execs. Who's this? Oh, Yoel Roth, is that right? Yo, if this dude don't glow in the dark, yo, if this guy right here don't glow in the dark, just saying. Twitter's global head of trust and safety, and Vijaya Gad, then that's how you say her name, head of legal policy and trust. He left it up to them, right? we already knew from Jump Street that they were dead set against Donnie T. They were dead set against Donnie T and conservatives and Republican voices on Twitter, right? Like I said, this Trust and Safety Committee was created because of Donnie T back in 2016. It was created to hamper dissenting voices and to shut up certain voices that went against the official narrative and the status quo. You know what I mean? Is that what it was, yo? The Q Doc? Huh? That shit ever drop, yo? Let me know if did that shit ever drop? Anyway, let's keep moving. As context, it is important to understand that Twitter staff and senior execs were overwhelmingly progressive. That's putting it lightly. In 2018, 2020, and 2022, 96, 98, and 99% of Twitter staff political donations went to Democrats. Yeah. This is he referenced it back to the first drop with Matt Taibbi. Check this shit out. 2022, a total of $185,267 was donated. $165,969 went to the Democrats, and only $451 went to the Republicans. God damn. In 2020, $968,749 total was donated. $909,000 went to Democrats, and $14,000 went to the Republicans. In 2018, $309,394 total. $295,722 went to the Democrats, and $11,000 went to Republicans. Shit is crazy, guys. Okay, so that basically shows their leaning, right? That shows the leaning, right? So that's that. I mean, with those numbers being donated, because everybody's like, well, they were donating to the Democrats too, and to the Republicans too. Like, yeah, okay. Look at the startling number. Look at the number. That discrepancy. That stark contrast in donations. It's fucking crazy. Anyway, in 2017, Roth tweeted that there were actual Nazis in the White House. In April 2022, Roth told a colleague that his goal is to drive change in the world, which is why he decided not to become an academic. Yo, Roth, yes, that person in the pink hat is clearly a bigger threat to your brand of feminism than actual Nazis in the White House. He wasn't suspended for that shit, was he? Nope. Yeah, academia is by far the most abusive working environment I've ever been in. The entire system is exploitive in a ton of ways, and also not necessarily productive if your goal is to drive change in the world, which was the main reason I left. Okay, whatever. But he was never taken down. That tweet was never taken down. Why not? Well, because Yo Roth toes a certain line. He follows a certain narrative, right? He's saying what the left wants to hear. On January 7th, Jack emails employees saying Twitter needs to remain consistent in its policies, including the right of users to return to Twitter after a temporary suspension. After Roth reassures an employee that people who care about this aren't happy where we are. Let's see what this says. Jack's emails have been fine, but ultimately I think people want to hear from Vijaya so now they're trying to do a mutiny on Jack. That's what it sounds like to me. But I think people want to hear from Vijaya or Adele or someone closer to the specifics of this, who can reassure them that people who care about this are thinking deeply about these problems and aren't happy with where we are. A few engineers have reached out to me directly about it, and I'm chatting with them. But it's so clear they just want to know that someone is doing something about this, and it's not what we're ignoring. It's not that we're ignoring the users here. Let's see. I think there's an opportunity to help people understand that while it seems obvious and simple that we should permaban this personal account or his personal account, we can't afford to take that immediate action without first playing the movie out. So basically saying we can't do this without building the case first, right? They're saying they can't do this without building the case out and anticipating all the other things that can happen, and then figure out the plans for these possible scenarios. E.g., if we suspend the personal account and he posts the same thing on his official government account, do we suspend that account too? People can be forgiven for not thinking beyond the thing that's immediately in front of them. But Jack, Vijaya, Dell, you don't have the luxury of just pulling the trigger without thinking things through. We tell them repeatedly that people are on it and people are working on it. People are on it and people are working on it, and they're scratching their heads wondering how hard it can be to decide if this single account is in violation. Now, we can all say this, that Donnie T didn't violate any guidelines. He didn't. Matter of fact, they prematurely took his account and they throttled him. They silenced him, right? When all that shit was happening on that day in January, he put out a tweet. And told everybody to go home. He put out a video, right? Matter of fact, I know he put out a video because I put the video up on, I did a stream on one of the committee hearings, and I played it, and guess what happened to my stream? It got taken down and I got suspended from YouTube for 7 days. They took my stream down and I got suspended from YouTube for 7 days for quote unquote misinformation. And I noticed why they suspended me is because I had those Donnie T videos in context, contrary to what the January 6th committee was saying. But I digress. But remember, Donnie T put out those videos, say y'all go home. This is not how we supposed to handle this. Basically, is what he was saying. And guess what? They hid that video. That video ain't get out. Nobody's seen it because they throttled it. In order for you to find that video, you had to go directly to his Twitter. And then after a while, the shit was just gone. No news outlets would play it either. There was a concerted effort to make him look bad on that day. That's why I say that day in January, that was a play. That was a setup. That was orchestrated by the powers that be to make Donnie T look like a tyrant, make him look like the bad man, the bad guy. And the certified election that may or may not have been shanghaied. Kind of find it ironic that they didn't even hear the arguments against certifying after all of that went down. Kind of find it ironic the minute where they were getting ready to hear the arguments about not certifying, when they were getting ready to hear the arguments, is exactly the time when people started breaching the doors of the Capitol. Really interesting. On top of a lot of those videos that was coming out, showing a lot of shit to the contrary. But I'll leave it at that because we still live on YouTube. Around 11:30 p.m., Ross DMs his colleagues with news that he is excited to share. Guess what? He writes, Jack just approved repeat offender for civic integrity. I wonder who that repeat offender is. The new approach will create a system where 5 violations will result in permanent suspension. The question is, did they was it retroactive? That's the question. I find it hard to believe that it was retroactive. I'm pretty sure they do what YouTube does, and YouTube can go back months, years, and find something that they don't like on your channel, and they can use that against you. That's what they did to us. That's why a lot of us are on Rumble today. A lot of us got suspended for showing the Jerome Davis ad and praising it. A lot of us got suspended on the same day. I know it's 50 and counting. And we all did that video back in July. And then come October, I think it was, we all get suspended. Progress, exclaims the member of Roth's trust and safety team. The exchange between Roth and his colleagues makes clear that they had been pushing Jack for greater restrictions on the speech Twitter allows around elections. But it wouldn't just stop there, guys. We all know that it didn't just stop there. They wanted to kind of hamper speech, period, full stop. It wasn't just around elections. They want to hamper speech, period, full stop. The colleague wants to know if the decision means Trump can finally be banned. The person asked, does the incitement to violence aspect change that calculus? Roth says it doesn't. Trump continues to just have his one strike remaining. Trump continues to just have his one strike remaining. So that answers my question. That means that this shit was retroactive. That means that they went back and found shit that he was quote unquote guilty of strike for. Was left him with one strike. That's right, Def Jazz. They wanted it to happen and made it happen. That's facts. He was very responsible today, yeah. He was very responsible that day. He chose his words very carefully. They never suspended any of the accounts involved in CP. You're right. They haven't. They never did that, right? That's why I said that lady wasn't doing her fucking job. Was she? She wasn't doing a good job of protecting children on Twitter, was she? Ross' colleague query about incitement to violence heavily foreshadows what will happen the following day. On January 8th, Twitter announces a permanent ban on Trump due to the risk of further incitement of violence. Due to the risk of further incitement of violence. So now they're getting them on a thought crime. They're on their Minority Report shit. They're on their Minority Report shit. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. They're on their Minority Report shit. So now they suspended him on the thought crime. In the event that he might do something else. Permanent suspension of @real Donald Trump. After close review of recent tweets from the @real Donald Trump account and the context around them, specifically how they are being received and interpreted on and off Twitter. We have permanently suspended the account due to risk of further incitement of violence. Shit is crazy, guys.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
On January 8th, Twitter says its ban is based on specifically how Trump's tweets are being received and interpreted. But in 2019, Twitter said it did not attempt to determine all potential interpretations of the content or its intent. And why should they? Right? Why should they? Bernie Sanders still has his account, right? Bernie Sanders still has his account. Remember, the guy that shot up the Republican baseball practice was a Bernie Sanders supporter. Bernie Sanders never faced any backlash for that. Bernie Sanders never faced from the mainstream media. He got a pass for that. Even from the Republicans, he got a pass for that. It was like, yo, we can't blame him for what that motherfucker did, because that guy misinterpreted what Bernie Sanders was saying. He's some crazy one-off. Right? Bernie Sanders never got like, oh, whoa, his words made somebody shoot up Congress, the congressional baseball practice. Well, Bernie Sanders, I mean, his words have potential for violence, so we should suspend it. No, none of that happened to him. What about Maxine Waters? If you see him at a gasoline station or at a restaurant, you shout them down and tell them they're not wanted here on some fucking Bull Connor shit. All she needed was a motherfucking German Shepherd next to her. No, remember her words got people spit on, drinks thrown on them, attacked in public. Somebody had a MAGA hat on. Somebody tried to take her from her or punch him out or some shit like that. That was incitement to violence, in my opinion. Am I wrong? But you didn't see Maxine Waters get hauled off before Congress. You didn't see her Twitter suspended for incitement to violence. Right? That was after the 2016 inception of this whole what is it? Trust and Safety Commission. No. It's only for Republicans and MAGA supporters. That's all it's for. That's all it's for. That's all it's for. Sorry, guys. I'm just saying. But didn't get Trump on a thought crime. He ain't even did nothing yet. The only serious concern we found expressed within Twitter over the implications of free speech and democracy of banning Trump came from a junior person in the organization. It was tucked away in a lower level Slack channel known as Site Integrity Auto. This might be an unpopular opinion, but one-off ad hoc decisions like this that don't appear rooted in policy are, in my honest opinion, a slippery slope.
That'll be $8.
Oh, wrong one. And reflect an alternatively equal dictatorial problem. I'm sorry. This now appears to be a fiat by an online platform CEO with a global presence that can gatekeep speech for the entire world, which seems unsustainable. Shout out to that guy, whoever that said that. That's 100% right. But they hit that shit deep, huh? They hit that shit deep. All right, we just read that. Twitter employees use the term one-off frequently in their Slack discussions. It frequently uses its frequent use reveals significant employee discretion over when and whether to apply warning labels on tweets and strikes on users. Here are typical examples. Could have been bounced with a strike. I don't see any scenario where we would decide not to bounce here. I guess not to bounce. Just want to check if there are any concerns. Otherwise, I can bounce under RTP and close this one before I go. FYI account is account for review at US Ascension. We are trying to understand the one-off decision here. The one-off decision. Like, this is the only time. There's a lot of one-offs. If you got a million one-offs in the same vein, then it's not a fucking one-off. It's not a fucking one-off. So if you keep saying you got a one-off suspension for somebody violating your quote-unquote speech guidelines, that's not a one-off. That's not a one-off. That's a fucking rule now. That's a rule that you guys created. There's always abuse one-off. Bounce one-off is the option. Okay. Recall from Twitter Files 2 by Barry Weiss that according to Twitter staff, we control visibility quite a bit. And we control the amplification of your content quite a bit. And normal people do not know how much we do. Huh. Holy shit, guys. And we control the amplification of your content quite a bit. That goes back to when you saw like on Charlie Kirk where it said do not amplify, right? Charlie Kirk's channel said do not amplify. That's what they had under his channel. So anytime you put out a tweet, don't amplify that tweet. That's interesting. Twitter employees recognize the difference between their own politics and Twitter's terms of service, but they also engage in complex interpretations of content in order to stamp out prohibited tweets as a series of exchanges over the hashtag stop the steal reveal. That's what they're talking about here. Here go Yoel Roth again. Hey, hope you're doing okay and we're able to get some sleep. Can we or have we already discussed blocking the hashtag stop the steal or the stop the steal hashtag? It's further fake news in a dangerous way from what I can tell. Hey there, we're proactively surfacing that content for review under civic integrity, and it should be blocked from Typehead and Trends. If you're seeing it in either of the latter two, let me know ASAP, and PT can fix it. Like, I don't know what else people really need to see here, right? I don't know what else people need to see here. See, Twitter's supposed to be a platform. They're not an editor. It's not a fucking newspaper. They're a platform. You're just there so people can voice their opinions. That's it. YouTube's supposed to be a platform. It's not an editor. It's not a fucking news station. You're just here for people to be you're just a sounding board. That's all you are. That's it. Me, I would think that this shit goes as far as to say that maybe Twitter should be looked at as an editor, a publisher. I'm sorry, a publisher, and not a fucking platform, because they're not acting like a platform. They're determining what people can and can't say here. Find it very interesting, right? Roth immediately DMs his colleagues to ask if they added the hashtag stop the steal and QAnon conspiracy term Kraken to the blacklist of terms to be de-amplified. Roth's colleague objects. Roth's colleague objects that blacklisting stop the steal risks de-amplifying counter speech that violates the election. That's true. That's true. That's true. Like I said, Twitter is supposed to be a platform. That's it. They have no right to hamper people's speech. I know people are, it's a public company or a private company. It's not a federal entity. But I would beg to differ, considering the people that they had working at Twitter. It may not have been a federal entity, but it damn sure had a bunch of feds working there, or quote unquote former feds, or the children of the redacted, family members of the redacted working there. That's the ending around. That's the ending around. We can't have no control of, but let's, hey, my niece need a job. Put her in the trust and safety division, if you don't mind, winking and nod. That's the ending around. That's how they infiltrate and control things. They don't have to be in your fucking face. They call black op missions covert missions. They call them black op and covert missions for a reason. So y'all don't know about it. How many people, you know, knew for a fact that they had these people working in Twitter, these former public officials or public officials' children or former federal agents working at Twitter, right? We speculated, a lot of us speculated, and I guess we were right. But how many people, how many normies you think, if you would have told them, yo, they got feds working at Twitter, that they would have believed you? That they would have believed you, right? What up, Jeremy Rose over on Rumble? Yeah, Rumble chat, I don't know, it tends to be quiet. Anyway, if you're new, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit the notification icon to let you know when I got new content coming out. Please smash that like button, hit that Rumble button. Let people know we're live. Share these streams. If you're catching the replay, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of the topic at hand. Do these Twitter drops surprise you? Let me know. Do these Twitter drops surprise you? I'm interested to know what you guys think. Let's keep it moving. Indeed notes Roth's colleague a quick search of the top top stop the steal tweets in word counter in their counter speech. But they quickly came up with a solution: de-amplify accounts with stop steal in the name profile, since those are not amplified with counter speech. Damn, they could do that. They can fucking flag the fucking, see, that's the thing. They can flag your profile name. So if somebody had like stop the steal, you know, they got like she, hers, their fucking pronouns. If you put stop the steal and all that shit in your name or your handle, they could flag that shit too. Yeah, just a quick search of just a quick search of top stop the steal tweets and their counter speech. Kraken, I'm comfortable with. Top tweets are generally Q related, and I'm noticing an absence of counter speech. It's also super common on profiles. Actually, we can de-amplify accounts with stop the steal in the name / profile level. Those are not affiliated with counter speech. That's fucked up. That's fucked up. But it turns out that even blacklisting Kraken is less straightforward than they thought. That's because Kraken, in addition to being a QAnon conspiracy theory based on the mythical Norwegian sea monster, is also the name of a cryptocurrency exchange, and was thus, I guess, put on the allow list. Holy shit. Employees struggle with whether to punish users who share screenshots of Trump's deleted J6 tweets. What'd I say? I got suspended on YouTube for his message to everybody on J6, telling everybody to go home and stop acting like assholes. We should bounce these tweets with a strike given the screenshot violates the policy. Jesus. They are criticizing Trump, so I'm a bit hesitant with applying strike to this user. Did you hear that? They're criticizing Trump, so I'm a bit hesitant with applying strike to this user. So if this tweet right here, if this tweet right here, these are the things and events that happen when a scared landslide election victory is also unceremoniously and viciously stripped away from great patriots who have been badly and unfairly treated for so long. Go home with love and in peace. Remember this day forever. So, if this same tweet, let's just say I tweeted it back then, right? What's up, Darius? With this same tweet, let's say I tweeted it, right? they'd have gave me a strike, and if they wouldn't went through with it, they'd have gave me a strike. They'd have gave me a strike on my Twitter page for posting this. So I would have said, if I would have like praised the speech or praised the statement. But this person says, fuck off. Oh my God. Even Twitter says it's inciting violence. They got a pass, which tells you where their alliances lie, where their loyalty lies, what side they lean on. That's enough right there for me. They're criticizing Trump, so I'm a bit hesitant with applying strike to this user. Guess context matters only when they want it to matter, huh? What if the user dislikes Trump? What if a user dislikes Trump and objects to Twitter censorship? The tweet still gets deleted. But since the intention is not to deny the election result, no punishing strike is applied. If there are instances where the intent is unclear, please feel free to raise. That shit is crazy, guys. This shows their bias. This shows their bias. They weren't just following orders; they were creating the orders. And if Joel Roth don't glow in the dark to you, I don't know what to tell you. If Joel Roth doesn't glow in the dark to you, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. What power did Jack have? I still stand by it. Jack was just a face. He was just a face. He had no power in that company. He was just a face. I'm telling you, that's all it was. Around noon, a confused senior executive in advertising sales sends a DM to Roth. Sales exec. Jack says, we will permanently suspend Trump if our policies are violated after a 12-hour account lock. What policy is Jack talking about? Roth says any policy violation. So this from Yo. For internal awareness, this would be any policy violation, not just limited to elections, but before sharing anything, please coordinate with whoever the fuck that is, redacted. On the calm side, obviously a ton of interest in our position on this. Want to ensure we stay aligned. I wonder what that means. That's real fucking cryptic. That's real cryptic, ain't it? What happens next is essential to understanding how Twitter justified banning Trump. Sales exec, we are dropping the public interest policy now? Roth, 6 hours later. In this specific case, we're changing our public interest approach for his account. They changed the rules solely for Trump. The ad exec is referring to Twitter's policy of public interest exceptions, which allows the content of elected officials, even if it violates Twitter's rules, if it directly contributes to understanding or discussing of a matter of public concern. At present, we limit exceptions to one critical type of public interest content: tweets from elected and government officials, given the significant public interest in knowing and being able to discuss their actions and statements. Roth pushes for a permanent suspension of Representative Matt Gaetz, even though it doesn't quite fit anywhere. It's a kind of test case for the rationale for banning Trump. So they wanted to get Matt Gaetz out of the fucking paint as a fucking test run. As a fucking test run. I'm trying to talk Twitter's safety team into removal as a conspiracy that incites violence. It's fucking crazy. What's up, Not Noir with the $5 super chat? I appreciate you, bro. Says reminds me of when I was a producer for daytime TV. I love the power, period. That's the super chat. Oh shit. I'm trying to talk Twitter's safety team into removal as a conspiracy that incites violence. Bro, this shit is nefarious, yo. Like, this isn't them just, oh, we're just following the terms of service. I mean, I don't know what you guys want us to do. Like, it's in the algorithm. No, these motherfuckers were the algorithm. They were the problem. They were the algorithm. This was a concerted effort. This was a concerted effort by tech and big government to fucking get Donnie T out of the paint. This was a concerted effort for them to get Donnie T out of the paint. Bruh. Y'all remember this? Y'all remember this? The secret history of the shadow campaign that saved the 2020 election. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that shit? Y'all remember this? I saved this shit. There was a conspiracy unfolding behind the scenes, one that both curtailed the protest and coordinated the resistance. From CEOs, both surprises were the result of an informal alliance between left-wing activists and business titans. The pact was formalized in a terse, little-noticed joint statement of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. The AFL-CIO published on election day. Both sides will come to see it as sort of a implicit bargain inspired by the summer's massive, sometimes destructive racial justice protests. Yeah, they admitted it in ink. They told you, yeah, we took this shit, but we did it because it was for your own good. Holy shit. Around 2:30, Comms execs DM Roth to say they don't want to make a big deal of the QAnon ban to the media because they fear if we push this sorry guys. They fear if we push this, it looks like we're trying to offer up something in place of the thing everyone wants, meaning a Trump ban. That evening, a Twitter engineer DMs to Roth to say, "I feel a lot of debates around exceptions stem from the fact that Trump's account is not technically different from anybody else's, and yet treated differently due to his personal status without corresponding Twitter rules." I guess the same could be said for like Maxine Waters and AOC and Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton, huh? Y'all treating them completely different. Y'all treat them completely different. Y'all treat them completely different. So like I said, guys, you could take that, right? I put it in the description. I put it in the chat, and I put it in the pinned comment on Rumble as well. You can feel free to comb through Twitter file drop number 4. There are tons of examples. I think Michael Schellenberger did a great job on this one, giving us more information, giving us, more threads on what actually was fucking going on. Maybe there is something more to this these Twitter files that meets the eye. Now, I do still believe that nothing's going to happen to anybody. Only thing is, you can put this out in the court of public opinion. You can put this shit out in the court of public opinion. Let the people that swear up and down that the government can't do this shit, the government can't pull this shit off, and just show them that. Look up Operation Mockingbird. Show them that. Government ain't beyond this shit. They'll put government plants anywhere if they can control the narrative and control the information coming out of a platform. They'll do it all the time. You know, all this really does is just confirm the suspicions of quote unquote conspiracy theorists. Right? Which I wouldn't even call them theories no more anymore. Call them prophecies now. Call them fucking prophecies. They can call us all the names they want, right? But that's what they can never call us. It's fucking liars. They can call us everything in the book. You crazy, wild-eyed, tinfoil hat, conspiracy theorist, ashy, hotep, blah, blah, blah. But guess what they can't call us? Can't call us a liar. So, anyway. If you're new, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share this stream. Let people know we were live. If you're catching the replay, let me know how I'm doing. What you think about the topic at hand? What do you think about the topic at hand? Anyway, I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate you guys rolling with me. I really do. I appreciate you guys rolling with me. If you want to leave if you want to leave a donation, super chats, rumble rants, they're always welcome. Or you can donate to my Cash App, $Canon Hotep. Every dollar goes back into the channel. Anyway, I just want to bring this information to you. So this is Canon Hotep saying, stay safe, stay well, stay strapped. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, people. I holla at you.
Take notes, niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes. Niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take